Hello everyone, welcome back. So, before we learn any programming language, it is good to know about its history and features. So, in this video, we are going to discuss about Java history and what are its features. Yeah. So, coming to his history, Java was created by James Gosling during the year 1991, and later James Gosling and his team member released the first version of Java during the year 1995. And the latest version of Java is Java 16 or JDK 16. Initially, Java was created to develop the home-based applications. Later, Java evolved and people started to develop the enterprise applications. Okay, and coming to the features of Java, the first feature is Java is simple. Okay, so we know that Java is successor of C++, so it will be easier for the people to easily learn Java, right? So in that context, Java is simple, and in Java, so if you see in C++, right, there are some features, operator overloading or the pointer concept, right? So those complicated features been removed in Java. So there is no pointer and no operator overloading. Java doesn't support operator overloading officially. Okay, so that's the reason Java is simple. Okay, and coming to the next feature, Java is robust. So I said like there is no pointer and there is no security issues in Java. That's the reason Java is robust. Okay, and there is an effective memory management in Java, and there is a yeah. So Java is strongly type checking. Okay, so it has a strong type checking during the compilation and during the interpretation, and also it has the strong exception handling mechanism. So that if we put all this together, and hence we call Java as a robust language. Okay, and the coming to the next feature. So in C++, all the libraries, okay, so will be loaded during the compile time. But if we in Java, all the libraries will be loaded during the runtime. So that overhead will be is removed. So and hence the Java we call Java as dynamic. Okay, the next feature is Java is architecture neutral. So if you see in C, the data type takes 2 byte memory in 32-bit architecture, right? And 4-byte memory in 64-bit architecture. But in Java, it takes 4 bytes of memory in both 32 and 64-bit architecture, right? Hence, the Java is architecture neutral. Coming to the next feature, Java is platform independent. Okay, so this feature will see deeply like what it is. If you see here in this pic, uh, you have a Windows machine where you have created a .cpp file which has some code, C++ code, and you want to compile and execute this code. Okay, so what you will do, you will pass this cpp file to a compiler, and the compiler will create .obj file, and later the .exe file will be created and the program will be executed, right? Okay, so whatever the output of the C or C compiler will be specific to that particular OS. It is bound to that particular OS, and you're not able to, even if you can't execute this files in other operating system. Okay, other platforms. But in Java, if you see, so you have created a sample.java file on a Windows machine with some code, okay, lines of code. You have given this sample.java to a compiler. The reason we give this the Java file to a compiler, just to know the semantic and syntactical errors. If there are no any syntax or semantical errors, then the dot class file will be created. Sorry, it is a sample dot class, not there is a spelling mistake. Yeah, please ignore. So once a dot class file is created, then this dot class file is nothing but uh, a low level language. Not a low level language, it's the code. If you see, it will be byte codes. Okay, so it's not low level language. Low level language is the .exe file, .rpg file. Okay, so you can say an intermediate level of code which has the bytecodes .class file, and this .class file, which is compiled on a particular platform, can be executed on any other machines or any other platform. It can be Mac, it can be Windows, it can be anything. So the .class file actually can be executed in any other platform irrespective of wherever it is compiled. So this is what the platform independency, right? So you have compiled a .java file in one of the operating system, one of the platform, and the .class file can be portable to any other platform wherever the JVM is running, right? If you provide this .class file to that JVM, which is running on different platform, still it will execute the file. That means it is Java is platform independent, whereas in case of C or C++, it is not. It is platform dependent. So this is what the basic difference between the platform independency and dependency. Okay, and coming to the next feature, there is no memory leak in Java. If you see in C, right, there is CLOC or MLOC function. So what do they do? They do allocate the memory dynamically, and you have to provide the size of the memory in advance. And suppose your variable is not at all using that much memory, then the rest of the memory which is not used or unused will be is nothing but a memory leak. Okay, and but in Java, if you see, the memory is dynamically allocated and it is resizable. Okay, yeah, that's the feature. And the next feature is distributed programming. Okay, so distributed programming is nothing but you're running the program in different systems, and you're getting the output. For now, just think in that way. Okay, we can discuss this elaborately in coming videos. Okay, yeah. So distributed programming is also supported in Java. So for that sake, Java has released couple of APIs. Initially, it has released a Corba API, and later on, it has released RMI and EJP, which is successor, right, to the Corba, and EJP successor RMI. Okay, so coming to the next feature is multi-threading. So multi-threading is nothing but you are running the multiple parts of the program, Java program, simultaneously, which is nothing but multitasking. So Java also supports multitasking. Okay, Java is secured. Okay, so that means there is, as we already discussed, there is no pointer, and the Java programs run on a Java virtual sandbox, which is very secure. So hence we call as Java, we call Java as very secure programming language, right? Yeah. So these are the features, some of the features of Java. Yeah, we should know this feature because this might help like understand some more topics which we cover in the future videos, or you come across your day-to-day work life. You may hear the word distributed programming, and then you may get a doubt whether Java support distributed programming. Yes. So yeah, so these are the features. Coming to the next topic, there are some differences between C++ and Java. So I will just list out few. So if you see in C++, there is a multiple inheritance, but in Java there is no multiple inheritance. Okay, of classes. There is no goto keyword in Java, but there will be a goto keyword in C++. And we already discussed that Java is platform independent, but the C++ language is platform dependent. So these are the few differences between C++ and Java. Yeah, maybe you can elaborate. I mean, you can explore more by yourself, but for now it is not needed. Yeah. So there is a most important question. Probably even the developer will face this. Java developer will face this question. So we said that Java doesn't support operator overloading, right? But if you see, there is an operator in Java which is overloaded. So there's nothing but the plus operator. Okay, the plus operator in Java meant to do two tasks. So when this plus operator occurs between two string, it will do concatenation, and if it is present between the two integers data types, literal, then it will do the addition task. So the plus operator is overloaded there. This is one of the important question, and maybe you may face this in your interviews. But yeah, this is the one of the important topic. It's small, but yeah, it's important. Okay, coming to the next point. What is JDK? We said like the Java latest version is JDK 16, right? What is JDK? Actually, JDK is nothing but a Java setup file. Okay, so what does a JDK contain? JDK contain JRE and some development tools with which you can develop the Java programs. Okay, apart from this, we should also know about JRE. Okay, so what is JRE? JRE is nothing but JRE contains JVM and some jar files and other files. So what JDK as a whole looks like? So it contains JRE plus development tools. Okay, and internally JRE, what it contains JVM, some jar files and some other files. Okay, JRE is the one which will create JVM in the heap memory. Okay, so this is what the JDK is all about, and you will see a different flavors of JDK, but we need JSC for and we are learning Java Standard Edition. Okay, you can go to the official website of Oracle, and from there you can download the JSC latest version from there. Okay, so this is all about the history, features, and few of the small points, important points we discuss, and also we know about what is JDK now, right? And from where we need to download. Okay, and in the coming section, like in the coming video, we are going to discuss about the variables and the data types and the other topics, right? Okay, so we'll meet in the next video, and I hope this session is helpful to you people. Bye.